Friends, welcome to the Future Money Masterclass, and today is episode 7, and today's title is Central Bank Digital Currencies, the Future of Sovereign Money. This is a story of how money itself is being re-engineered, not by startups, not by private companies, but by nations. And that's what we are going to be unfolding in today's session. For centuries, governments and central banks have issued money in physical or electronic form, regulated through banks, intercompanies, and payment networks. But now, a historic transformation is unfolding. Central banks around the world are creating digital versions of their sovereign currencies built on new technology but carrying the same legal status as traditional money. Friends, these are central bank digital currencies or CBDCs, and they are set to reshape how money is created, distributed, stored, and exchanged. CBDCs are not cryptocurrencies. They are issued and backed by central banks, regulated by governments, and designed to operate at national and global scale. Friends, unlike physical cash, they exist in fully digital form. Unlike commercial bank money, they are risk-free. Central bank liabilities accessible directly by individuals or interconnected through banks. Friends, CBDCs bring the programmability of blockchain, the trust of sovereign backing, and the speed of digital infrastructure together into one powerful system. Around 130 countries are actively exploring CBDCs and more. Pilot projects are running in China, Europe, the Bahamas, Nigeria, and India. Some are retail CBDCs designed for everyday use by individuals and businesses. Friends, others are wholesale CBDCs meant for interbank transactions, settlements, and cross-border trade. The motivations vary. For some countries, CBDCs are about financial inclusion, bringing millions without bank accounts into the formal economy. For others, they are about payment efficiency, settling transactions instantly without multiple interconnectivity. Some of CBDCs are as tools of monetary policy innovation, which are allowing direct stimulus, programmable transfers, or negative interest mechanisms. And many use CBDCs and many see CBDCs as strategic instruments of global power, enabling faster, cheaper cross-border trade and reducing dependency on existing payment trails dominated by a few countries. India is playing a pivotal role in this transformation. The Reserve Bank of India launched pilot programs for Digital Rupee, both in retail and wholesale formats. The retail pilot allows individuals and businesses to use Digital Rupee wallets for transactions similar to physical cash, instant, direct, and final. Friends, the wholesale pilot focuses on interbank settlements, government securities, and cross-border payments. The potential impact is enormous. Today, when you make a digital payment, the transaction passes through multiple interconnected situations, banks, payment processors, and card networks. Settlements can take time, especially across borders. With CBDCs, transactions can settle instantly and directly on a secure digital ledger maintained by the central bank. This reduces frictions, lowers cost, and improves traceability. CBDCs also enable programmable transactions. Imagine such subsidies that can only be spent on specific goods, or such currencies which can be spent on specific goods, or trade agreements where payments are triggered automatically when smart contract conditions are met. This programmability opens new possibilities for monetary policy, public finance, and private innovation. CBDCs can also reduce reliance on physical cash. Cash printing, distribution, and security cost billions annually. Digital sovereign money can reduce those costs dramatically while improving transparency and compliances. But friends, CBDCs are not without challenges. Privacy is one of the biggest concerns. Unlike cash, digital transactions leave a trace. Central banks need to design CBDCs with the right balance between privacy, security, and regulatory oversight. Interoperability is another crucial and critical issue. For CBDCs to truly transform global payments, they must work seamlessly across borders. This requires common standards, legal agreements, and technical interoperability between different nations and different nations' digital currencies. Cybersecurity is paramount. As CBDCs become core parts of national financial systems, they will become prime targets for cyber threats. Robust architecture, quantum resistance encryption, and continuous security innovation will be absolutely essential. Friends, India's approach to the digital rupee reflects those realities. The Reserve Bank is conducting pilots in phases, studying how CBDCs interact with existing financial systems, consumer behavior, and regulatory frameworks. The goal is not to replace cash overnight, but to complement and enhance existing systems. India's strong digital infrastructure, UPI, Aadhaar, account aggregators are providing a solid foundation for CBDC adoption. With over 800 million internet users, mobile-first behavior, and progressive regulation, the digital rupee can scale quickly once the system matures. The implications for investors are significant. CBDCs will reshape payment infrastructure, fintech business models, and investment flows. Payment gateways and interconnected entities will need to adapt their roles. Banks will redefine their functions as settlement layers that change. Friends, fintech innovators will build programmable money applications from automated lending to real-time trade finance. Cross-border investments will settle faster with reduced currency risk and lower transaction costs. Friends, CBDCs can also accelerate tokenization of assets by providing a stable, sovereign digital settlement layer. Stablecoins and private cryptocurrencies will need to coexist strategically with CBDCs. Friends, before we continue to the next episode, let us acknowledge our partners who make this journey possible, this masterclass possible. My first sponsor is Santé Spa Cuisine, which fuels clarity and resilience through mindful nutrition, reminding us that sound economic thinking starts with a sound mind. Board Active Gymwear, which embodies flexibility and strength, supporting those building the infrastructure of tomorrow's financial systems. Turning Red Media Studios, which transforms emerging financial narratives like CBDCs into globally monetizable stories, shaping the world's understands money, and the world definitely understands money. SDG 6 Technologies through water security, proving that every future system needs a strong environment foundation. Friends, the rise of CBDCs represent both an opportunity and a responsibility. Nations must design them carefully to ensure trust, security, and economic stability. Businesses must innovate to integrate CBDCs into their operations intelligently. Investors must understand how this shift will reshape markets, liquidity, and financial infrastructure. Friends, I invest capital, technology, experience, influence, and ecosystems into ventures that build future-ready financial systems. I collaborate with fintech founders, infrastructure builders, and policy thinkers to create strategic bridges between traditional finance and sovereign digital money. I do not just fund technology, I help to architect the financial rails of the next era. If you are building around CBDCs, payment innovation, or programmable finance, you can message me to explore on how we can scale together and strategically. So now let us summarize the 4 key takeaways from today's episode, which can be easy for us to remember and understand. Firstly, CBDCs are sovereign digital currencies that combine the trust of central banks with the power of digital technology. Secondly, they will reshape payments, policy, and global finance through programmability, efficiency, and cross-border interoperability. Friends, thirdly, India's digital rupee pilots are positioning the country at the forefront of this monetary transformation. And fourthly, businesses and investors who adapt early will benefit from new infrastructure, new business models, and new economic power dynamics. Friends, CBDCs are not a distant possibility. They are the next chapter of money. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel for more insights on strategic investing, financial innovation and future wealth trends. And friends, remember, the Future Money Conference is happening in Mumbai at Hotel St. Regis on 22nd of December 2025. Please register. Global central bankers, fintech leaders, policymakers and investors will gather to shape the next era of sovereign digital money. You can tell us in the comments below which aspect of CBDCs you want us to explore further. Your insights will help me to shape the conversations that shape the future. Friends, this is Future Money Masterclass and thank you for watching this series. See you soon.